Change Lives for Good with your host, Greg Kepferle.
Hello. In this valley of Heart's Delight, people struggle every day to make ends meet. And sometimes it's because they've been brought to this country as a child without papers. Or maybe it's because they don't have a job, their spouse doesn't have a job, and they need to keep their home and feed their family. Or maybe it's because they've been in prison, because they've been in gangs, and now they're out and they're trying to make ends meet. Hello, I'm Greg Kepferle, CEO of Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County, and welcome to Change Lives for Good. With me today are three amazing people whose lives have changed for good, and who in turn are changing other people's lives for good. So with me first are Grecia Lopez, who is a dreamer, Meaza Gelaw, who is working in our Daybreak adult home care program, and José Sanchez, who is a peer mentor with our reentry program. Before we hear their stories, I want you to watch a video of Grecia telling her story of how she came to this country.
I came here when I was 12 years old. We crossed the desert pretty much, probably around Tucson, Arizona, for what I can remember. We had to walk in the desert, in the mountains, for about 3 hours in the middle of the night. These robbers came and tried to kidnap me, my mom, and my sister. We were going with a group of about 15 people. My mom decided to separate from them by telling these robbers, kidnappers, that we were gonna go use the restroom. And the guy said, well, I'm gonna go with you guys can't go alone. And my mom said, no, well, they're girls, we're just gonna go right here behind the bushes. And so we went to the bushes, and my mom said, we have to get away from these men. I don't know what they're gonna do to my daughter. They're gonna rape her, they're gonna kill her, what are they gonna do with us? So my mom decides to separate from the group. On the horizon, we just see a light. And my mom says, follow that light. And that's what we did, we followed the light. Not knowing where in the world we were, not knowing if we were gonna die right there and then. And we were just so lucky that that light led us to shelter. It was an abandoned trailer. The first time and the last time that I've never felt such thirst. It's like you can't even swallow saliva. And your mouth is so dry and you start getting disoriented. The next morning, my mom takes us out of the trailer and we start looking for roads for people. This lady picked us up, took us to a quick stop, and gave us water. She gave us shelter and brought us to our family after communicating with them and stuff. As a dreamer, and for the dreamers, is that since we know how hard it is, to achieve what we want, my dream is that we as dreamers help other people. My philosophy is always give back. We may not have much, but give from the heart what you have to make a difference in other people's life.
Grecia, that is a powerful story. I am very moved. And I am so proud that you've been able to make it through the desert, through such horrific journey, and you've now become a dreamer. And for those that don't know, what is it to be a dreamer? What does that mean?
Well, first of all, being a dreamer is having those life experiences where it's pretty much an odyssey, right? But thanks to the president's action of granting deferred action to the dreamers, we're able now to have a job, continue with school, apply for scholarships, and sometimes even travel abroad to see family members that we haven't seen in many years.
Yeah, that's terrific. So you came from this experience of coming into a new land, with your mom, going through a horrific experience to get here, and then eventually getting this special status of deferred action for childhood arrivals, which, as you said, President Obama did, basically because Congress hasn't acted and hasn't passed comprehensive immigration reform, that using the presidential powers, he said, well, at least children and youth who, through no fault of their own, have been brought into this country without papers should be given the opportunity to fulfill the American dream. By going to school, by working in the military, they're proving that they are, in fact, people that we want to be Americans.
Yeah, exactly. We're truly Americans at heart, because what they say, home is where the heart is, and our home is here. Our hearts is here. We definitely want to contribute, like I said, and give back to the community. I've graduated already from a medical assistant program. In my second week of doing my externship, I got hired. And thanks to the fact that Catholic Charities helped me fill out my DACA, I received it, and it was just amazing being able to get a job and now help out my family. But not only that, I've been making impact in the community because I've been volunteering too. I've been giving back. When you see patients that are hurt, that they need help, and that you're able to provide them and care for them, it's just an amazing experience. And being able to do that, because without a piece of paper, without a 9-digit number, I just felt like I was shackled. Like I was shackled from my feet, from my hands. I could walk, talk, and eat, but yet I could barely do so much. And now, thanks to that, I feel a little bit more free.
Right. So you're free now. The shackles are off, and the freedom has allowed you to go to school. It has allowed you to get a job. It has allowed you to give back to the community, to volunteer back into the community, where clearly you are making an incredible difference. And at the same time, you still have a dream, right? So what's your dream beyond this?
Well, see, that's where my debate is, kind of. But at the moment, it's to become a physician assistant. I'm already gonna be applying at Foothill College. There's a program that Foothill and Stanford provide, and pretty much for it to become a physician assistant, pretty much entry-level medical school. So that's very exciting for me, because I used to think back in the days, well, if I apply, how am I going to pay for the cost? Not only that, how am I going to enter the program when I have no social security number and I can't fulfill my dream? And now I'm going to be able to achieve it thanks to that. Yet we're still kind of in limbo, because nothing else has been going on. So it's scary at the same time, because you're like, well, what if I graduate again, and yet maybe I might not be able to get a job again because I don't have a current social number or work permit.
Right. So it's that 9-digit number that is the dream in some ways, right? It's that social security number, which really says that you are here as an American, and you are an American, right? You already are an American, but it's that 9-digit number. So with that, what would you tell other dreamers? Because the shackles are off, but you're still in limbo. It's this president has made that commitment to you and to youth in your generation, but Congress hasn't acted. Others are still in limbo. Some haven't applied for DACA, for deferred action, but they're eligible. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, I understand that it might be overwhelming, gathering all the paperwork, coming up with the money, finding someone to help you, but take one day at a time and apply. Why? Because it's gonna open up a million doors. It might seem like it just opens up one door, and then after you open that door, a million more are gonna open. not only are you going to be able to obtain a job, be able to work, help out your family, help out the community, but also be able to drive nowadays. That's a big one. But mainly, you're going to take off that stress and that fear of being deported and being away from your family. I'm pretty sure that none of us want to be away from our parents. And if you have that chance to apply for deferred action, do it. The hurdle, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to struggle to gather the paperwork. But at the end, it's going to be rewarding.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's just absolutely amazing to hear your story, and I'm so impressed by your courage to follow that light. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
So our second guest with us is Meaza Gelaw, who came to Catholic Charities with a different sort of journey. So Meaza, what happened in your life that led you to Catholic Charities?
At that time, I don't have any job. My husband, he got laid off, and I go job fair, and when I saw one lady, she told me about the Catholic Charity. So I go there, found a job, but they give me, there is a class, geriatric home aid. I took 2 months that class, and then I got a job. So I'm so excited. I have 4 kids, and I help my family. So Catholic Charity give me a good opportunity.
So you have such a wonderful smile, so it's really clear that you are a loving and caring person. So what is it about this job of being an in-home care aide that's helping people who are seniors or disabled? What led you to love this work?
Yeah, first of all, I love my grandma first, and then that's what I like to take care of elderly people. So they are so very nice, lovely, and like a mom. So I take care of them. Just I heard they give me a lot of opportunity. If I don't know something, they can tell me. So I help them, and they help me.
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah, like a family member.
So a family.
Yeah.
So that's the amazing thing that what you're doing now is helping people who can't help themselves.
Yes.
But it's very intimate. It's very personal. I mean, it's you become very close to the people you help.
Oh yeah, very close and like a family. Just I never seen I'm going work or something. No, just I gone with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice people and very good.
So how has getting this job with Daybreak in-home care at Catholic Charities helped you and your family now?
Yes, they helped me because I got this job so I can help my family. So that's what I like it.
Yeah.
Everybody very nice. They treat me well, so I like this job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you came here. You didn't have a job. Your husband was laid off, but now
now I got
how are
it.
things?
Yeah.
How's your husband and how are your kids?
My husband, he's working now, a taxi driver. I'm working overnight shift, so we can help our kids that way.
So what would you tell other people about your job and encourage them to come to Daybreak? What would you say to them?
I said, just if they can find this kind of job, there is a lot of people, they need help. So we can do it. We can work. We can help elderly people. So,
that's right.
yes.
And by doing that, you are changing lives for
oh
good
yeah,
too.
I changed my life.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
so much.
Yeah. So right now we're going to take a brief break, and we will get back to you with more stories of how we at Catholic Charities change lives for good, and how the people who work with us also change lives for good.
There are an estimated 11.2 million undocumented immigrants living in the United States. Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County has provided immigration and legal services since 1976 to help assist and aid the increasing number of immigrants moving to Santa Clara County. The program is fully accredited by the Federal Board of Immigration Appeals in Washington, D.C. The Immigration and Legal Services program serves low-income immigrants of all nationalities and backgrounds. The program helps eligible immigrants navigate the process of becoming a United States citizen, giving them the opportunity to establish firm roots in this country so they can thrive. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, provides immediate and long-lasting benefits that may help if a new immigration bill passes. 25% of all individuals who are potentially eligible for DACA are also eligible for other permanent immigration remedies. DACA beneficiaries under the age of 18 will not accrue unlawful presence as long as they participate in the program. People with DACA are among Immigration Custom Enforcement Officers' lowest priority cases for deportation. DACA opens many job opportunities that may not have been possible before. Individuals who did not complete high school can return to school and become DACA eligible. The government application fee to file for DACA is $465.
Like most families, you want to help your loved one stay at home, surrounded by family, friends, and neighbors for as long as possible. Our non-medical caregiving services help disabled adults and seniors with all their tasks of daily living, up to 24 hours a day. Catholic Charities hires only skilled home care providers who are certified nursing assistants and or have completed a geriatric home care aide course with at least 2 years of home care experience. We also conduct regular quality assurance visits by a registered nurse to assure the best customer service, safety, and support.
Catholic Charities' Right Directions Adult Reentry Program targets adults who have participated in the criminal justice system in Santa Clara County, assisting them with the transition back into the workforce. There are currently 65 adults enrolled in the program, with 27 placed and working. The program assists clients with tattoo removal, digital and financial literacy.
Catholic Charities works to end poverty by helping families and individuals get the tools they need to become more self-reliant. It offers a hand up rather than a handout through a wide range of services and serves more than 41,000 people each year of all cultures and beliefs.
Hello, and welcome back to Change Lives for Good. I'm your host, Greg Kepferle, CEO of Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County. We're talking about what it takes to change your own life for good and how that helps change other people's lives. For this segment of our show, I want to introduce you to José Sanchez, who's an amazing, amazing person whose life has had some really rough starts. Coming out of the criminal justice system, having been involved with gangs, he's now not only changing his own life for good, he's changing other people's lives for good. Welcome, José.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your life before you found Catholic Charities.
A little about my life is, hearing their story, talking about freedom, I was kind of person that took freedom kind of, for granted, and I was born here in San Jose, and I actually grew up in the system as a juvenile all the way to prison, and I actually been through the system for a very, very, very long time, and it took me a while to break the system, and I met Catholic Charities through my probation department, and that is Santa Clara County Probation, and I was introduced to VERSE program that they had, the vocational, educational, and Focus for Work. So the way I got there was through probation. I was actually, my probation officer had recommended me to go over there, and I was at the time I said, here's another program, what is it going to have for me? And it actually showed me, that they did care. They did help out myself and my family as well.
Uh-huh. So you came out of being in the criminal justice system. You'd been involved with gangs. You'd been in a really troubled situation, and yet you were at this point in your life that you said you wanted to turn your life around. So what was it that made you say, I'm going to take this step?
Yes, I told myself this time I was going to turn my life around, and this time really commit to it, not just say it, not do it. So this time it took a lot of commitment. I have lost my family. It's my kids and my wife. They're basically my support that I had, and I just, coming from a background being a gang member, it was real hard for me to adapt to the living of my family, such as my wife and my kids, the way they lived. I didn't want to live like that, So this time I was like, I do not want to be involved into the system anymore. I just want to live life and be able to enjoy it.
Right. And to do that,
Yes.
you needed to get a job.
Yes, exactly.
And so when probation brought you to Catholic Charities vocational educational program for employment services, what happened then?
They actually brought me down at the Catholic Charities, and I met Focus for Work, Albert. Albert was my job developer, and he helped me he actually set me up some job interviews. I went and I did them, and I was not hired at the time, and for me to take rejection, not be hired, was really hard. And as I talked with Albert, I kind of was introduced to the probation department at the same time, so I actually volunteered for 2 years before getting employed. So I understand how it is being from Santa Clara County and being a citizen and taking things for granted, such as individuals that want to work and want to do the right thing. Here you have an individual that is from here and is doing the wrong things, So I kind of, take it with Albert when he used to help me out. He was wonderful, and I met my boss. She's my boss now. It's Ela Latif, and she's been amazing. And it was kind of how I got hired to Catholic Charities, from being a client to being an employee. A lot of my clients are like, how did you get this job?
Mm-hmm.
So that is the hope for the clients, is that we can change.
So one of the things that's changed about you are your tattoos.
Yes.
So tell me that story, because it sure would be hard, I think, getting jobs with a lot of tattoos.
Yes, it's been hard, even just to go to an interview and face someone face to face.
Right.
And not just that, as being a barrier, is having a background and having tattoos. Who wants to hire somebody that has tattoos in a background? Really, nobody does. And, but some of us, we are hard workers. We just made some mistakes in our life, and now I'm taking my tattoos off. My tattoos were gang related, and it's very hard to be in the community with tattoos that are gang related when you have not involved with gangs anymore. It's just being stereotyped, not just by the cops, but gang members. Mm-hmm. And tattoos, they're really, really can be, as such as you put it, life-threatening, such as for the individual. So I've been removing them over, I could say almost 3 years, 2 years, 3 years, yes.
3 years. So it's a slow, but it's also a painful process.
Very painful, very, very painful.
But so what would you say to somebody else who's coming into the program in your situation? What do they say when they see you?
When they see me, it's shocking to them. You know, how did you get hired, such as I already mentioned. And what I want to let everybody know is that if you have tattoos and you want to get rid of them, it's the best thing that you can ever do. And prepare for your future. If you're at a young age, that's where it starts, is that we need to not do tattoos and get them removed.
So what's your hope for the future? Right now you have a job at Catholic Charities, you've turned your life around, you're back with your family?
Yes. I'm actually enrolled in San Jose City College. I'm taking my KDAC, my drug and alcohol. I've been preparing myself to take and get a master's and be a licensed clinical social worker. So I kind of still not ready, you know, where I want to settle down at. Mm-hmm. But I do want to look towards my future, and you know, my past is my past. You know, we cannot sit here and dwell on your past, because the more you dwell, the nowhere you get.
Right. So now you're focused on the future, like Grecia is focused on the light, and you're so focused on the love of the people that you serve, that this is just awesome. And I am just in awe of each of you for the amazing grace and the amazing love and the amazing courage that it takes for you to change your own lives for good, and in turn you're changing so many other lives. You're an inspiration to other dreamers. You are such a loving caregiver, helping create family and people's sense of dignity in their own home. And you're changing lives of former gang members and former prisoners just by your own example. This is why I love my work at Catholic Charities, is because of all of you. So I just want to say, welcome to Change Lives for Good, and remember to speak up, reach out, and change lives for good.